New Era Records.
The Skrilla. Yeah. Highway.
Favorite song on the album, definitely the intro. I just finished it last night, the second half. Shout out my cousin, Quality.
Reign like a king. 413 zone. Out with John.
One of my favorite songs on there is She Got Game Part 2, featuring Marcus Jarvis, MJ as I call him. He's from Springfield, he just moved to Cali, another one. Wrote the hook, and he was definitely feeling it. He had me getting my little R&B-ish bag on the end of it.
Put your love on me, put your love on me, girl. Put your love on me, girl.
The outro, the last song on the album is called End of Summer Part 2, and it's featuring Macway. The way the song is basically just like an introspective, like just about life. And Macway definitely gave me a crazy verse, and in the verse, I ain't gonna hold you, we was at my producer Hebrew Beats out in CT, and I damn near almost cried when I heard the way he was just talking about just life and family dynamics, and just when you pass away, and just you just hope that everybody that loves you is just there. It was deep, like it was definitely deep.
No shortcuts for the bucks, only long stairs. I've already established faction that make niggas go poof. Now we back to stacking the racks, so all my kids is in school, living like fools. It's something that my niggas don't do.
Jamaican joint was cool, Kissing Me Teeth. That was me in my Jamaican bag. It was different. I wanted to try something different on there. The posse cut, Look Who's Talking with my crew, Davi, Skrilla, Big V, Koei. And now when I fought for it, because everybody's busy, and I said, nah, I gotta have an album with everybody on it. So if we ain't gonna do it like in the Five Heartbeats, we ain't gonna do it right, we ain't gonna do it at all. Everybody shines, so I called it Look Who's Talking, because it's like when you hear it, it's like, damn, who is that? And I wanted us to be competitive. I feel like that's another loss. So I could love you, you my mans, but I'm still trying to beat you like we playing ball. Best one? I'll probably say 3P. It's me, Mac, and Bari. And it's Mac, me, and then Bari, and I feel like the little brother in between them, because they just had did a song called Green Light, and they smashed. So me on the song, I knew I had to step it up to ask them. So I feel like the little brother on the song, and it was definitely fun making that record, and I appreciate both of them for getting on that. I got its acronym RAIN, Real Ain't In Them. It's me and Big Homie Duke. And I asked him, the first thing he said was, you know, him being a big homie and who could rap, if it ain't hard, I ain't doing it. So that was a challenge, and my big brother Easy, and he was like, you gotta come hard if you want. And it's a street record, and I wanted to show him that I'm versatile, and I wanted to show him that I listen to their music and I'm stepping it up. I was trying to get Hood Shine from MG on it, but he's been busy, but that's the bro too, so definitely work with him later on, but yeah. I'd probably say those is my favorite joints on there. They all different. This is my 31st project, 8th album, and I try to separate them and give them their own lanes. Mixtapes is like, you know, having fun, and one. EPs is like the salad before your meal comes, and albums are your meal, you get what I'm saying? And I got that from studying the game and seeing that other people weren't doing that. They just make music and that was just it. I love, again, creating music, creating projects to listen to. So by the time I get done, I'm already thinking about hearing it and listening to my mistakes, because what I do is I'll record. Sequencing is another thing that I don't think people do. So the time to do that. So when my albums or projects come out, I don't listen to them until they come out. So at midnight when they come out, I'm listening just like if it was a Drake release as a fan of my own. So when I hear the mistakes, I'm thirsty to get back in the studio to get better than my last. So, and I want to always do something different, and I want to challenge myself. And if, let's say, Mac or Saint is doing a project, and I listen to, damn, that shit was hard. Now it makes me be a ball player and go back in the studio and record. And I just love I'm a studio rat, like they say, gym rat. I go to the studio by myself. I don't smoke, I don't drink, so I go to the studio for 5 hours. I go to the studio, record for 5 hours. I'm not bullshitting around. So that's what keeps me coming back, and the passion to create. Public speaking, I've done that when I used to live in Chicago. I went to class for that. I'm cool with talking to people, mentoring, all that shit, coaching. But that stage is different. Looking at the stand, like you get like throat close up, all that type of shit. But watching my peers, you know, like I said, McWay, Blacksmith, Fabian, Quality, Muda, watching him and watching them just have everybody having their own swag got me to be a student. And okay, if you can do this, you could do that. So I used to never let nobody be in the studio with me when I record because I used to be scared of how they'll judge me with being emotional in music. But then I said, this is me. So now I don't give a fuck. You in the studio, it's cool. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And I feel like more people in the studio gives you that live in the moment. If I hear somebody say, oh, okay, that gets me energized. Now performing at Speak and Eat, shout out to Malaya for the opportunity. When I'm doing that, whether it's 10 people, 50 people or whatever, I'm okay because I used to not know my lyrics, I'm gonna be honest, because I write so much, I'm over there, I'm on to the next one. But Heisman, I remember one time he used to say, y'all artists need to worry about learning how to, when you're making these videos, how to know your words, like speak it so it matches. I'll never forget that. He didn't say it to me, but he said it, and I'll never forget it, and it was like a lesson that I carried with him. The more I perform like a shooter, the better you get. So I'm becoming more and more comfortable. I talk to the crowd, I pay in the room, I feel like I'm owning the room. And to see my name on the flyer makes me feel important. It makes me feel like I'm a Drake or whoever it is because this is my moment. Regardless of who you came for, right now you came for me. So I'm gonna own this night. Fuck it, even before my name gets called, nah, we here. Yeah. And once I get the stage and I get to going and knowing my shit, I'm good. Yeah, I've written for other artists. I like to say write with them because I like to, when I study other people, I can hear stuff. So when I'm writing as if I'm you. So like, for instance, when I wrote the hook for my cousin Q to sing on one of the songs that we got on an album called Built for the Rain Part 3, I'm in the shower and I'm singing as if I'm him. So I'm writing notes. And so when I get to him, I reference it and I know how he sounds. So I'm him. So I transition into being him. So one of my artists, Pretty Brown, I A&R'd her EP that's out on all platforms, How Lyric Speaks. We did the whole thing together. There were certain things that I knew from listening to her music, how it was, so I was able to structure that. Big Vids project, You Hear Me But You're Not Listening on all platforms. I A&R'd that as well. Just to be in the studio, give him ideas and just basically push him, coach him on it. It felt good. And it wasn't like he wasn't talented, it's just sometimes you need that push. And his nickname, I call him Big. And I was like Pac, you know, and I was in there just pushing him. Like there's different things, what you call them, entendres, that he's good at that wordplay. Like, and I would just cheering him on just as a peer. Like, you know, I'm not against cheering somebody else on who's more talented than me. No, I just want to hear good music. I'm CT with my producer, engineer, Hebrew Beats. I've been with him since 2012. Tyler, I've been with him since 2019. And Designer Drugs, I've been with him since 2019 too at Blue Room Studios. So I try to stay with the same people. And my Uncle Boogs, he owns Megaland. So I've been recently, the other day, I just recorded for my next album called Don't Let Me Die with Dice. So me and him got in there. So.
Always releasing shaking like weekend that burnish. I'm talking that type of pain. I hope no one ever relate. They call me Black Jesus. Me by fucking up my son's life. He's still young and been away from me, and now you see he letting you misguide the
I probably had to say my first one, I'm Not Gangster, and it was because it was my first one. I was raw. So going back, listening to it, you hear everything wrong with it. But the fact to be able to put out a project on my own with no help felt good. I say that one. I would say all the movie heroes. My boy Brucey B, Frenchy, he loved movie heroes because I make it sound like a movie when you listen to it. So I say the movie heroes. I probably say my favorite one out of that one would probably be the latest one, the Georgetown Movie Hero 6. And it was in the mind of Kyle, if you watch the movie. And I'm a ball player, and all the trials and tribulations of being an athlete, bills, women, what's your next step if you don't make it to the league? And just family, you know? You're the cash cow that's getting ready to be there. So that's 3. The Mama Mentality one that I came out in 2020 because Kobe is my favorite athlete. I always say Jordan birthed me as a real parent and Kobe was a step parent who raised me. Jordan felt like he was he was so high you couldn't touch him. Kobe felt like somebody who's down the street. We watched him and I grew with him. So when he passed, it fucked me up. Even to this day, it still does. This album, Born to Reign, the way, like I said, the structure, how long it took, my patience, willing to wait for features because I felt like they could help me make this project what it was. The body, the cinematic feel to it, and it being a double album. People don't do double albums anymore. So, and I got that from Pac. Yeah, so I got that, again, my way to pay homage to Pac and Big, you know, and I feel like, who was it? Was it Pac or was it Jay that said, or maybe it was X, he said, every great artist has a double album. So I always wanted to do a double album. Jay got one, Big got one, Pac got one, you know, even X dropping 2 in 1 year. And I don't see anybody doing that. Again, I want to do something that my peers are not doing. My label is LLC, you know, so that made me feel good to do that with my uncle and just to see my label design on a project feels good too, you know, to actually be a black owner, you know what I mean? I would say the Drake side of the Drake, Mary J. Blige, still R. Kelly as music. You know, I know personal life, but music as an artist. I love Omarion. David Ruffin. I love David Ruffin. I'll go with I go for with David. I like those vibes in New Edition, Bobby Browns and all of that. Yeah, like the way that they weren't boxing as just R&B. But I definitely love the ladies, the SWVs, the Escapes, the In Vogues. Like, I'm from that era, you know what I mean? Even the Salt and Peppers. So I probably bunch them into the 5. That way I don't leave nobody out. Yeah.
Top 10.
Yeah, but definitely Mary, like heavy in the house, Mary. Definitely Mary, Gerald Levert, Luther Vandross, like those type of vibes, like you knew the lyrics even when you didn't want to. Like I spoke earlier, you know, Kobe gave me a vision and kept me out the streets because everybody wanted to be like Mike, including me, but to understand at the age when Kobe came into the league, I was old enough to really understand and see him make mistakes and stuff. So he kept me out of trouble. He kept me, my passion for the game as far as coaching now. I've been coaching for 14 years, you know, won some chips, but it wasn't about that. It was getting the kid who was nervous, your mom just signed you up, to seeing the progression to winning the championship and knowing that you played a part in that. Having that kid who may not be as talented as a starter be important to the team and making sure that the star player knows you need that person too. If he's the best rebounder and you're the best scorer, you can't score if you don't rebound. You need each other. I still listen to Kobe before my games, waking up in the morning when my games ain't until 8, going to JCC at 6:30 in the morning just to shoot around by myself. You know, so Kobe definitely will always be a legacy to my life. And both my kids, my son and my daughter, my son, you know, when he was born, before I had got full custody, like it was bath, put him in the swing, and we would watch Kobe during the down years when it was just Kobe scoring 50 points and the Lakers were losing. You know, I want to be remembered for. You asked me earlier, what's the cons of recording music and telling the truth? I want to be a person that when you listen to my music, you can match the energy. Yeah, I'll give you the street stuff, you know, I've been around it. Is that what I do? No, like Ja Morant, it's not that deep. But, right, it's not that deep, but I've been around, so I'm telling you stories from my eyes. I want to be remembered for somebody who appreciated the music and who respected the music and respected my peers, and wasn't about just the person who had the most clout. It was who music made me feel something. I want my music to make you feel something. And when I'm gone, that's why my last album is called Don't Let Me Die, the soundtrack. We all pass away. But if I give you something to remember me by, I'll never die. I'll never die. Whether that's you playing my music, whether that's you speaking about me. We all want to be immortalized, you know, and that's why I feel like when it comes to Kobe. So I definitely want to be remembered as somebody who was a real person, a genuine person who loved all, matter the race, whatever, and I genuinely showed love and I showed up. That's what I want to be remembered as. Definitely Mr. Macway, Mr. 41, Saint, Blacksmith, Fabian, T Swan, my cousin Quality, Ali Fats, Cheeks, you know, a lot of the OGs, Cheeks and stuff. I still listen to their music. Lamel's, I know he's doing his thing in Cali, but I still listen to him. Muda, I'm getting into Muda's music. I love the way he performs and he's different. Some of the ladies, Fiona Clark. Some of the newer ladies that I'm getting into, like Shay, Mystique, Malaya, of course, beautiful voice. Yeah. Oh, MG, the whole crew, Hoodshine, Briggs, John Doe, Q, Black Frost. I'm just all about my peers, man. I really love listening to my peers. I give them their own playlist of my shit too. July 1st, Born to Rain is on my birthday. I was real adamant about dropping on my birthday, so July 1st. My 8th album, 31st project, my best project. And my last album will be Don't Let Me Die. I probably will release it on my birthday in 2024, or I'll probably pick a different day. Maybe I might release it in Kobe's birthday. And the reason why I said that was my last one is because I made a little short-term goal for myself. A lot of artists don't get to see the end. Like Nip, best album is Victory Lap. He didn't really get to receive the flowers that he, Tupac, Machiavelli, Big, Life After Death. Jay retired, but now I feel like he's really retired because he doesn't feel like he has to. You went from dropping an album every year, him and Ja Rule, to now I drop when I want, because you did your, I don't want to say contract obligations, but you did what you wanted to do. And this is what I wanted to do, these two last albums, because a lot of songs that didn't make this album are on Don't Let Me Die. A lot of different big artists are on that album too. So to see the end is what I always wanted to do. And from there, after that, I feel like I'll be more free. And I feel like the reason why I know a lot of my lyrics now is because I'm finally getting into this album, and there's no pressure now. I've been, not yet, and it's finally here, and I'm rolling it out. I'm enjoying the process of the rollout, sitting back, knowing that my album is done, and it's not, I'm good. Artwork, everything is done, so it's just on me. I didn't think I would get here, honestly, amongst all my peers dying. RPC, Quick, my boy Terrence Gardner just died, Kevin Watson, JD, a lot of guys over the years is just, passed that I grew up with. So you don't have to be in the street for things to happen to you, but things just happen. And I always wanted to leave behind something, especially with the coaching with the kids. As they get older, they still hit my line. I still go support them in real life, and seeing them work, it makes me feel good that they said that they love me and that they're blessed that I was in their life. So when it comes to the music, I want it the same way, Maybe I'm not the best, a spitter like Blacksmith or Fabian, or the best like Mac Wayne saying, but nobody could question my work ethic. That's what they always say. My work ethic and my passion for it and my willingness to learn. Shout out to Darius and Kay. I rewrote She Got Game on the album because they honestly were giving a panel review and they was like, this ain't it. They was like, you got something here, the hook is good, and I wrote it. So I was like, okay, instead of looking at it negative and saying, forget them, it was, listen to what they saying. Take yourself out of yourself. And when I rewrote it and I sent it to them, they was like, okay. And I know a lot of people watching and we get caught up in the likes, but keep doing what you're doing, because there's always somebody watching. And when I walk around, people tell me that. And that makes me feel good. So I treat 5 people like a million. I'm humble, but I appreciate that one person who listens to my song, because you're now letting me know that you took the time to listen. And that means something to me, because all artists, I don't care what you say, you do care about people listening to your music. So I appreciate the people who take the time out. Yeah, with y'all, New Era Records, Born to Rain. Shout out to Visionary Act, shout out to my boy Vega Productions and my guys, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it, man. Shout out to my peers.
Yeah. Gifted. I'm on my MG shit. Shout out to MG, John Doe, Hoodshine, Briggs. She said she loved the way my music rock. What else? Trying to get close to me is a plot. What else? I call her Cash Money, cause she's hot.